Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Decided to jump on here a few minutes early just to allow Instagram to let all those who follow this page know that I'm live. So just going to be quiet for a minute. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Kim. I said I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to wait till 8 o'clock. I'm going to wait to come on live a few minutes early to allow y'all to know that I'm live. But I'm excited. This is my favorite day of the week. I get to hear the testimony of someone and all that God is doing in their life. So thank you for joining. Just going to give it a few more minutes. Hope you all have had an amazing week. Oh, thanks, Kim. You are too. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. How was everyone's week so far? How y'all doing? Anybody that's jumping on that has not given a testimony, we do have the last 3 Thursdays in March available. So if you want to share, please inbox me and I will schedule you. Because I think it's important that we all share the things that God has done in our life, whether it's now, whether it's been in the past. Hey, Pastor Mel. Hey, Miss Karen. Whether it's, been in the past or it's been what he's doing currently, it's important that we give the good news of the Lord. And so I'm praying in 2025 that testimonies will come from the north, south, east, and the west, as my pastor says, and that those will not be afraid to share because he has been so good and so amazing to us all. So tonight, let me go ahead and add my special guest, who is coming. So excited. And so we'll just wait a few moments to allow her to join.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So let me do a formal introduction. So this is Karen Campbell. I met her in August of 2024 at a economic development luncheon here in Douglasville. And I let me tell y'all the story. So I'm sitting at this table and I'm eating lunch and they're just presenting, the different projects in our community. And Miss Karen walks up to the table and sits down. And y'all ever be in a place where you be like, dang, I know her from somewhere. I seen her picture. I seen her face somewhere. And I'm the type of person that gets everybody's face wrong. Mm-hmm. I be thinking one person is not. And I kept looking and I'm trying to pay attention, right, to what they're saying. But I'm like, dang, I know this lady. I happened to go on my Facebook while I'm sitting there. And I said, oh, my God. This is Miss Women of Douglasville. I didn't even know. And I was looking like a little fan phase. I was like, oh my God. And I text my husband, I was like, guess who I'm sitting at this table with? I was like, wow. So I am a part of the Women of Douglasville. It is an amazing page that has been created. So before we get started, Miss Karen, I'm going to just say a quick prayer. And then I'm going to give you the floor to share your testimony. Okay. So, Father, thank you in the name of Jesus for this new day that you have given us, Lord. Thank you for this time of fellowship. God, I pray that the testimony that's going to come forth from Miss Karen, God, that it will touch someone's life that is watching. And as I say weekly, if it's not for you, please allow it to be a message for someone connected to you. And so we thank you in advance, Holy Spirit. You are more than welcome to be a part of this conversation. We thank you, we love you, we honor you, Lord, and we adore you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
And so, Ms. Karen, just to give you a little background about this platform. So for those that are joining in right now, my name is Devan Walker. I am a resident here in Douglasville. And this was a vision that the Lord gave me back last year that I ran from. So when I accepted the call of this assignment, we have been going live every Thursday here on Instagram since August 29th.
Wow.
And so, so every Thursday, someone has agreed to come and share their testimony. I just feel like the world that we're kind of living in, we need to hear the goodness of God. There's those that don't know him, or those that do know him, to rededicate their lives to him. And when he gave me the vision, I was like, not me, I'm the background. I'm in the background type person. And so once I gave my yes, the testimonies that have come forth on this platform have been absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So I thank you for accepting the invitation. You were laid on my heart one day, and I was like, she's busy. You got a lot on your plate. But I was obedient in it, and I reached out to you, and you accepted it. So I appreciate you coming on tonight, sharing your story.
Yes. And thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate, you even thinking of me. Sometimes we take it for granted when you're placed on people's hearts and you're in their minds. So I appreciate that, for moving on that and asking me to be a part of your platform tonight.
Thank you. Yes, you're so welcome. So what we normally do is I will, tell your testimony, because like I told you, only you know it. And, I'm reading the comments as we go along, so I kind of like read them off if they have things to ask or have encouragement things to speak. But the platform is yours, Ms. Karen, so tell us about you.
Okay, so once you told me that I kind of would have the floor, I was like, usually I go off of what people are going to ask me, and I know, I could prepare for questions. So what I did was just like think about, how I would really just tell my testimony, because, where would I start from and how far would I go back? You know what I mean? So to those who don't know, my name is Karen Campbell. I am right now the founder of the Women of Douglasville Group. Out here in Douglasville, West Georgia. Right now, we've just reached 50,000 members the day before yesterday. So it's really an exciting time. It's a very monumental time. And just yesterday, just reflecting on, just like you said, my story, my testimony, and where God has brought me from. So I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I moved to Atlanta, in 2004. And I first started out in Kennesaw, then I moved my way to Marietta, and then I got to Douglasville in 2012. But I'm going to go back to 2004 when I got here, and it was just me and my oldest daughter. And at that point, I relied on community resources and public assistance and things like that, just to make it through. It was just me and her. My sister, she had her own family in her own, life. But I had to navigate through, being here in Metro Atlanta and, getting a job and getting an apartment. So I actually started off in transitional housing in 2004. It was me and Sierra. And it was Cobb Family Resource in downtown Marietta. And that's when I really became aware of a lot of the things that are offered to single mothers, just a lot of the different programs. My daughter, at the age of 4, she was in a organization called Girls Inc. And that kind of kept me connected to a lot of what was going on in Cobb County, and got her involved in different resources, not just like public assistance, but just actual programs that help families and single mothers. And so that was my thing, to always stay connected to what was going on in the community, job fairs, community fairs. Just being a single mother, you kind of wanted cheap ways to entertain your child, and I became mothers of other single mothers. So I was at the free events, getting the free ice cream cone, or, driving up to the playgrounds and, doing the free things, or giving out free this. I was always there. So that was kind of instilled in me. And then I joined a church, Faith Christian Center in Smyrna, and I became a very active member in church, praise team. I have my own praise group and faith group. And I just had my little own I always had my own little community of friends and people that I could rely on, who could rely on me. And everything kind of shifted when I got married and moved to Douglasville. So I moved to Douglasville
Okay.
Douglasville in 2012. Still like still depending on different things. I mean, it wasn't like I was working a regular job making like $14 an hour. My husband was working at Wellstar. And we came out here and I was like, oh my God, I was so far from Cobb County. And there I was again, trying to find the community resources, trying to find a way. I had two little kids. I mean, I think one and two, 1 and 3. And then
Wow.
and then my oldest was in middle school. So I was like, and back then, 2004, it sounds like it wasn't that long ago, but Douglasville is totally different now than it was in
Yes,
2004,
because I moved here. I moved to
2012.
Douglasville in 2004 as well.
Okay, so I came here in 2012, so you really know how it was. So
Mm-hmm.
2012, I mean, Publix closed at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It was different, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do out here?" And I tried my best to stay, to get to know people in the neighborhood. But it was hard back then. So then, kind of life changed, and things started to as far as the internet happened, and um Facebook groups became a big thing. So Facebook groups
Mm-hmm.
became a thing. Like, do you remember? It was like around the same time I started Women of Douglasville, in 2014. It became like Facebook became a thing, number one, and then community groups became a thing, neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
groups, and that sort of thing. I was like, man, I should create a group for just to connect with other mothers. And it was me and Minka Cole. I don't know if you know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy Felder, she owns Autumn J Salon, and Miss Camilla Terrell. And I added those 4 people. They were basically all in the beauty industry at the time. And
Wow.
so they were adding their friends. And at first, really, we always talked about was couponing, what was on sale, if there was a storm, or just things that women like to talk about. That was mainly the base of Women of Douglasville. And it was really just created just a platform just to connect with other mothers, other women, and talk about women's stuff. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really what it was for a very long time. I'm not sure when you joined, but and back in 2014, it was just like, hey, anybody want to go swimming or la 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 la. So it was just really just a small community. So we started off, it was only a couple hundred of us. And then it got bigger. And then once it reached like 1,000 members, I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Wow. And I was
Right.
like, we should start meeting up. So at like maybe 1,500 people, 2,000 people, we were meeting up there at the Twisted Pickle. Remember when that lady had the
Mm-hmm.
Twisted Pickle on Fairburn
Mm-hmm.
Road?
Mm-hmm.
We would go meet at
Mm-hmm.
the Twisted Pickle once a month. We were meeting at Blue Rose every first Tuesday of the month, um, second Tuesday of the month,
Wow.
and for breakfast. And it just became, that's when the group started to grow more. Like, so even though it was only maybe 20 people meeting up at a time, people started being like, oh, where are you going? I met you at a meetup. Or some people just join the group just so they could come to the meetups, and it just started to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And
Wow.
then then I really started to focus more on the group, focus on community, you know what I mean, and the needs of the community, and started sharing things. So now I've made it a point to intentionally share the job fairs, the what's on
Mm-hmm.
sale, and I made sure I started really focusing on the group because it started growing and growing and growing, and creating rules too. It used to be a free for all. You could post what you want, say what you want about anybody, and gossip and negativity, and you know what I mean, throwing people under the bus. So once I started to put rules in place, the group started to grow. And as far as me, I just feel like God has always um, placed this connector thing. I always felt like every time that I would engage with people, I would immediately want to try to figure out man, she needs to meet Lisa. You know what I mean? Or you know what?
Right.
I know somebody who you need to meet. I don't know why you need to meet them, but you need to meet them. I mean, I was constantly doing that, even from back when I was in Cobb County, single mother and everything. I always was that connector. So I had met somebody, this older man, this is after I started Women of Douglasville. He was like, you need to brand yourself. Because I was sitting there and I was just yapping away, just connecting them to all these kind of things. He was like, you need to brand yourself. And I was like, it's what? He was like, you need to brand yourself. So I went back to work.
Right.
I was working for Mr. Lewis, tax firm. You know, he owns a Cynical coffee shop in downtown Ourselves, the Cynical coffee
Mm-hmm.
shop. Mr. Lewis, I was working with him and this other lady in the office. I was like, girl, this man just told me I need to brand myself. She said, Karen the Connector. I said, so that's why you see the Karen the Connector logo right here.
Yes,
So
yes.
I was like, sure, that's who I am. And I went and got a logo created for $25. And that not that logo, but I had another logo, Karen the Connector. And I was like, I'm the connector. So now I'm living in it. You know what I mean? And so I was like, man, what am I gonna do with this brand? I'm just branding myself as the connector, not even thinking about women of Douglasville at all.
Wow.
I'm thinking other. I'm thinking in a whole nother direction. God had something planned for me that I would have never. You would have never told me I would be doing what I'm doing now full time. Never. But anyway,
Wow.
so I brand myself as a connector, and here I am, just still running Women of Douglasville. And then I got connected with my cousin who's in government contracting and everything. So I went from working with Mr. Lewis and then working right up under my cousin Ron Thomas. And I watched how he moved. He took me to business meetings and he took me to the business dinners and trips and all these kind of things. It kind of exposed me to this next level of
Mm-hmm.
business. You know what I mean? You know, talking
Mm-hmm.
business, being professional, you know what I mean? Knowing when to speak, knowing when to not speak. And
Right.
it was just exposing me to just different things like, you know, nice dinner places and places I would never go, like Season 52 or, you know, like what, you know, stuff like that. I had never experienced it, never saw it. I never traveled so much and, you know, did so many different things. So that was a game, like life-changing experience season of my life working with him. And then he lived in DC and he came to our first or second Christmas party. And
Mm-hmm.
he had flew in and it was at Gabe's. I don't know if you remember that. It was at Gabe's and it was like full. There were so many people there. There were people upstairs, downstairs waiting to get in. And I was like all nervous because I didn't think that many people would show up and la
Will
la la.
show
La.
up.
And
Right.
so
Mm-hmm.
he was like, Karen, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know where all these people came from. La 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 la. He was like, Karen, I see money. He was like, I see. He said, I see money. And I'm like thinking to myself, how? Like, how could I have a Facebook group and make money? La, 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 la. And he was like, listen, when you go to the office on Monday, he said, I'm gonna get the whiteboard out. And he said, we're gonna place some goals, and you're gonna put some things in place because this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be running this group and getting paid some kind of way. He said, I don't know how. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. He's, you know, I'm a man, I'm not in the group, I don't see, but he's like, but you're supposed to be doing this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And I was like, oh my God, that was back in 2000. That was
Wow.
back in 2020. It was the year of the pandemic, that December. And
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there is no way. Like, it's a pandemic. And then he told me, he's like, you got 6 months. And then I'm gonna have to let you free. And I was like, I remember being crying, like I cannot do this. Like I just so every I want to say Tuesday and Thursday we would go to a whiteboard and he would say, okay, now you got these women. He's like, and you got all these people trying to get to these women. They got to go through you. What you gonna do?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in the comments has notated that you're truly a blessing and they appreciate
Oh,
you. I am
that's
Janet
Janet.
Maynard.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Karen the Connector with Janet. Janet inboxed me. She said, Karen, do you know anybody that might be interested in such and such? And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I sure do. As soon as she said it, connected her to Coco Brother, like the radio, you know, Coco Brother, the radio station.
Yep, I
Yeah.
do.
And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know what
Mm-hmm.
had happened. I didn't know that did they speak. I didn't even know anything. Next thing I see a post going live on Coco Brother show. I was like, oh, look at Janet. I was like, look at God. I was like, hearing the connected for real. So and I
Yeah.
love and I enjoy making those kind of connections. I enjoy seeing people, you know, together, putting people together and they created something special, making some money or doing business together and just or even just, you know, creating friendships too. Like there's a lot of people that have made lifelong friends in that group.
Friends.
And you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
They find people they connect with. hey, let's go walking, let's do this, let's do that. And people will show up. You know what I mean? Like, hey, anybody want to go have a drink or anybody want to go have brunch? They show up. It might be only 10 or 12 people, but and then here you are connecting with people that you would have never met. You
Wow.
so like I said, back in 2020, I decided to go full time. So I've been full time with Women of Douglasville since spring 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I implemented the business affiliate program. So I focus on our business owners, and that has literally changed my life, completely. And just creating this platform where people can literally make their own income, change their lives. I mean, some people say, "Oh, my husband, he now, he quit his full-time job because now all he does is plumbing." And like, I'm like, wow, like sometimes the stories that come across, the things that people have found. I mean, even these dogs. I mean, I can't stand these dog posts. Because I honestly think these dogs is trying to run to something. I really do.
Right.
I've never seen so many dogs go missing in my life. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? This is weird. I mean, we always had the missing dog posts forever. I mean, the group's been is 10 years old. Never have I ever seen so many dogs missing every day. Every day. So you people just opening their doors and just hoping their dog come back.
Let them go.
That has to be the case. I've never seen anything like it, but at the same time, I'm glad to be able to have a platform for other people. They can find a dog. You know what I mean? But they find everything. They find a man, a dog, they friends, they birds. I mean, everything.
This page has my sister used to live in Austell, but she moved back to Jersey because we're from South Jersey. She's still a part of Women of Douglasville. She be like, "Girl, the FBI ain't got nothing on the Women of Douglasville."
I know, and
I said, "You got that right."
Yeah, I had to kind of pump the brakes on a little bit of that too, because I don't want to be involved in no kind of police activity. Like if the police is trying to, if they're sitting on I-20 on off of Lee Road, and watch out, y'all. The police is on Lee Road. No. I don't want no smoke with Douglas County Police Department. So I kind of, certain things I kind of pump the brakes on. Now, if there's an accident or, traffic is backed up, or if there's a fire or something like that, I try to, keep it. Everything else, I kind of brace myself from there, because I don't want no smoke from our educators. I don't want no smoke from our law enforcement. I don't want no smoke with nobody. Okay, so so certain things you're not gonna see. It's not. Some people think, oh, they pick and choose, and no, it's not. Sometimes I don't even look at names sometimes, and neither do they, because we get hundreds of posts to approve every day. I don't have time to figure out who's who. I mean, and that's what always baffles me. And this is what I also had to, because the question I said, what questions would I ask myself? And then and it said, what was a turning point in your life and during this journey? And I will always say, when I started to not care about what people said about me, you know what I mean? Like I would usually, if something happened where somebody was calling me out my name, or like I said, they was thinking that I was playing favoritism, or they always say these things. I mean, when I say all the time, and I think to myself, who are they? Like, how would they know? Why would they think I'm not? Who are they to me? Like, I don't even know. I only know a handful of people, and you would think I would know all these people. No, I see a lot of people. I meet a lot of people, but as far as I know them and I have a relationship with them, it's only a handful of them. Handful. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna see me with them on no internet. I'm very private when it comes to my real relationship. So I used to really get like anxiety attacks, depressed, everything. I remember one day this girl called me out my name, created this whole story, called me out my name. It shut me down for at least 2 or 3 days. I was so upset.
I remember that, and I was like, so you couldn't do that in private?
She
wanted to be seen. See, that's what it was.
Yeah, I
remember that.
Do you? You remember what I'm talking about from the gas station?
Yep, and I remember I didn't see you for a minute, and then I remember you came back with a post.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, I'm glad you did that because you allowed time
Yes.
to let everything marinate before you made a statement.
Responded.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I know that's right.
Yeah, because
I was reading like
the thing about it is I work so hard to manage this group every single day, all day. Like when I get off with you, I'll probably have about 300 posts to approve. And I mean, I live these things. And so when people, they, when they view me in a different light, like I really work hard to keep this community I built on and up on positive and very informative, very resourceful. So when somebody says, oh, she being messy, or Karen, she's this, she's that, I would get very upset. And then I said, and then I made it up in my mind, if I see somebody publicly calling me out of my name, publicly talking negatively about the group, I'm just gonna delete them out the group.
somebody said shut it right down.
If you don't like what you see, if you don't like what's going on, or you don't like how I manage the group that I created, you can go on ahead. Because I'm obviously you in there for a reason. And people are in there because it is a resourceful group. It is a great way to connect with the community. So if I get one negative comment out of 50,000 women, I had to say to myself, Karen, you doing good. You know what I mean? If you get one bad apple, if you see one bad comment in the group out of 50,000 women, even if it's every day, we doing good. So I had to start thinking that way. I had to turn my thinking around, and it's really helped me and help me build like even self-confidence too. Like, you know what? I don't care what they saying. Like they don't even know me. You know what I mean? And I let it brush off and I don't think about it no more. So that has helped me in my own personal growth, even my spiritual growth. Like I know what God has called me to do. And this is what he has called me to do. And I'm walking in my truth and I'm walking in my calling and in my destiny. So I have to let the negativity, all these little, out of 50,000 women, I'm worried about one person who called me out my name, one person who is talking negatively about me on the internet, block them and you keep on going.
Right, but did you see, even in that, but did you see the amount of people who had your back?
Yes, I do. But recently,
and somebody just said that's why God keeps blessing you.
Listen, I don't know if you remember recently, I was at an event, it was on a Saturday, and and this is the last time I posted about somebody talking about me. And this girl, I was trying to give this guy tips. So he was running a food truck. And I was telling him, you need to get your Instagram, scan this, make it easy for people to pay you. When it's easy to pay you, when you make it easy for people to pay you, you're going to make a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling him, and you can do this, go to this website, they could redo your menu over. And this one girl that I knew, had known, she was like, wow, Karen, you really, girl, you got it. This is why. This is it. You is really good, girl, at what you do. This is why the group. No. She was like, you are good at what you do. This is why you got women in Douglasville. And this girl was like, yeah, whatever. Like she was like, yeah. She was like, she getting there. She getting there. I had to keep my eyes on this man. I was talking. I don't even know what this girl looks like. I don't even know what she looks like. I didn't even turn my head to even give her the attention of my vision. I said, you know what? I'm going to act like I didn't even hear it. And then a part of me wanted to go later on and be like, girl, who was that you was talking to when I was at the, and I didn't even, I prayed about it because I was like, I swear it felt like I had fire coming out my ears. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care who it was, what she said or whatever, and I let it go. And then maybe 2 or 3 days later, somebody posted about not caring about what people say about you. So I shared it into the group, and I told them, I said, I heard somebody talking about me right in front of me. And I gave them no attention. And the comments came again, girl, I can't believe her. She really don't know you. Blah, blah, blah. They do the same thing. And I appreciate the people who do come to my defense. I just wish it didn't have to happen so much. Like, why you got to defend little old me? I'm over here just running the Facebook group. You know what I mean? Because so many people have their perceptions of who you are. They put this whole scenario of who you are just by what they see on the internet or how they feel. And, you know, and some people be thinking, oh, she's a millionaire. I'm living in Anwick truth. Okay. I'm driving to Florida State. You know what I'm saying? It is not that serious. Y'all do not,
Yeah.
there's no reason why people think I'm money hungry or this. No. If somebody says, hey, I just moved to the area, I have a salon or I do nails, can I introduce myself to the group? Go ahead. Introduce yourself to the group.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
But
like
all
you
that,
said, it's all your vision has been all about community, and God has used you as a ram in the bush for a lot of people.
and that's what I love, I love the fact that he's using me in such a way that people are really able to use something that I created to feed their family, connect to resources, even sell their clothes and furniture out of their house on Saturdays. You know what I mean? So yes, I do get frustrated. At times, you know, with things going on, because sometimes it is a lot of information at one time, information overload to read these posts about people going through things, even just information like sometimes my husband would be like, how do you know that? You know what I'm saying? I read it in the group. Somebody posted it in the group. So sometimes it is a lot of information overload, and I have to, you know when to take downtime. I'm coming out of a down season. Like since the election, I kind of laid low. You know what I mean? Being quiet and preparing for this next season that I'm in right now. So I'm kind of right now, I'm just venturing out again, you know, doing the events. I have a big, I have a affiliate training class not next week, but the week after that on the Thursday night on the 20th. So make sure you come to that. And Devan, and
I just
so
got
I'll
that
be,
email actually about the small business.
no, this is different. This is just for me and the Women of Douglasville affiliate.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so make
okay,
sure you
okay,
come. And I'll send you the information about that. But yeah, so I'm
okay.
going to focus a lot more on the affiliate program and just making sure they're getting the most out of the platform, because some people don't know what to post. They don't know how often to post, when to post. And then some things are about content. You know what I mean? Like what you put out there. You can't just put a menu out there and hope. You know what I mean? Some people want to see what that food look like. Some people want a video. They want a testimony. So yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about posting, content, network a little bit. A lot about, I may have somebody who does taxes come and talk about make sure you're writing off this, make sure you're writing off that when you do your taxes. But other than that, yeah. So this year I'll be focusing on just having a lot more networking events for everyone, the women, like, you know, doing some brunches, and my affiliates, and start, you know, getting back out there and bringing people together. So the last question was like, how has your testimony changed your life? And I said to myself, I will say I never thought that I would be able to have the flexibility that I have now. Being able to be there for my children in a way. I'm always here. You know what I mean? Like when they need me, if they need me to pick them up from school, like sometimes I'm like, how did I work 8 hours with toddlers? Like how can I wake up? I wake up, get them ready, take them to daycare, and then drive an hour to Sandy Springs every day. Like I think about it all the time. So my life has changed in a way to where I have more control over my days and how I spend them and who I spend them with. And financially, it's totally changed. I would have never thought I would be able to support my family on this level. You know what I mean? And I know God is going to take me even further, but he's already blown my mind. So if he doesn't do another thing for me, he has already done enough. So I thank him for that, because a long time ago when I found out I was pregnant with my first child, I remember looking up in the sky like, Lord, I'm 21 years old, and I did not want to have that baby. Okay. And he told me, he said, you will always be okay. And everybody, you know, people say, oh, God spoke to me. And I don't know what it sounded like, but I know what it felt like when he said it. And I was like, I was driving, I was in Buffalo, New York. I was like, oh my God, I gotta have this baby. And I had that baby, and I have always been okay. He has always kept his promises with me. He has always kept me and my family. I mean, through sicknesses and just ups and downs, he's always kept me, and I've always been okay. Always had everything I needed. So that's how my life changed. And I think God just elevated me. He elevated me, and he's been faithful throughout everything that has happened in my life. So that's my story. That's my testimony. And
that is so amazing. Like from going from one stage of life, having to depend on resources, and you became the resource. Come on,
girl.
Jesus.
Now you done said a word. You done said a word, girl. You done said something.
Depending on resources.
I never heard nobody put it like that. I might have to write that down. I might have to write that down. But that's
if
good.
You think about,
and it's
but
true.
if you think about it, that is the truth. You depended on resources and became a resource for 50,000 families.
Girl, come on now.
So that's why I said, when you were talking, I said, it's like I can hear the Holy Spirit say, God used you as a ram in the bush. This platform helped me. Like recently, I had posted, I said, does anybody know anything about engine repair? Somebody put a local body shop that I didn't even know where that was at here in Douglasville.
Wow.
And, my son's car, it just died. But I ended up becoming a new customer, and I got my car worked on last week.
Wow.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I could, with a dealership, they would have
they would have knocked you upside the head. Yeah.
And
I was
really able to get my
local businesses and connecting people to what they need. And some people can't spend a whole bunch of money on getting their hair done. They need to go to the girl who's doing hair in the kitchen so they can look like they want to look. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So I've been, like you said, I've been every level. That's why, when these women are needing things, and sometimes I feel so bad, I'm like, oh my God, we got to help this girl. And most times y'all don't even see half the posts of people needing a room paid for or groceries, because I'll just eat. If I can't do it, I'll say, hey y'all, I'm about to buy some groceries to my friends on my group chat, or me and the other moderators or admins. I was like, girl, this girl just needs groceries to make it to Thursday. She get her food stamps, and then we'll go do a Walmart order and get milk, bread, get some hamburger help or stuff, and some frozen pizzas and some chicken nuggets and packaged, chicken legs to help her through. And it's nothing, and that's one thing I do, and I don't like. The group is very resourceful, but I didn't want it to be I need this, or I need some groceries, or I need my rent paid. Because we got burned so many times. So many times. I don't even want to go into that, but I just wanted to leave on that note that, yes, I was one who was always depending on community resources, things that were offered, organizations. And now I'm the platform where people are getting to those resources and organizations. And I never, ever, of course, I knew that's what it was, but by you saying it like that really stuck. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep that one. But I appreciate
from Jesus. There you go.
Yes. I appreciate you inviting me on your show tonight. I really enjoyed talking to this. I think it kind of even helped me just talking about what I've been through, where I came from. Because sometimes you got to remind yourself, okay, Karen, this is why you're here, and this is why you're doing what you're doing, and just to appreciate the position that God has put you in, and the responsibility that He has given you. You know what I mean? Because the stuff that you see in there, it holds a lot of weight. You know what I mean? We're affecting a whole county, a whole West Georgia, Lithia Springs, some of Cobb County, some of South Fulton, a little bit of Atlanta. So it holds a lot of weight, and it's becoming a real responsibility to allow certain things and certain things not to allow. So, and I know I'm going into the season, especially this political season. It's getting rough out here. And I feel like I know that people are going to be turning to this group for what they need. And even more soon, real soon. So I'm trying to prepare myself for that. I'm trying to help the business owners be able to use the platform as much as they can to get their businesses off the ground or up and running, or even take it to another level. So yeah, I'm just getting ready I'm still getting prepared for 2024. And like I said, Dean, Devin, I really appreciate you inviting me. CEO show tonight. I enjoyed myself. If you have any more questions, I'm here for it. But if not, we can leave it. We can leave that testimony tagline right there. What did you say? Say that again. Say that again.
What I say? You use resources and became the resource.
That's
You depended
it.
on the resource and became the resource.
Girl, I'm writing that down. And we can leave on that note, y'all. So is this going to be replayable?
Yes. So what happens is once we come off of the live, it automatically updates to this page and my Testimony Time with Devan Facebook page. So I can actually tag you in it for you to share on your platforms. But this was good. Like I said, I've never want to ask people questions because I want them to give their testimony authentically. And I feel like bombarding you with questions prior, I feel like you might miss something. And so when you asked me earlier, I was like, you tell your story. You know how to tell your story, right?
Yeah, and I appreciate that because I was scared a little bit. I was like, But then I'm glad you did it that way. I was able to get a lot of different things out there I probably would have never talked about. So yes, and to anybody who's watching, you can follow me on Karen the Connector GA on this platform, or go over to Women of Douglasville. Women of Douglasville has their own Instagram. And if you're anywhere in West Georgia, I invite you, especially women, to join Women of Douglasville group on Facebook. We connect, serve, and we love this community so much every single day. And we also have Men of Douglasville. So if you're a man, you can join Men of Douglasville. We got Men of Douglasville has about 8,000 or 9,000 members now. So the men are starting to talk to each other. They're starting to connect. They're getting a little bit open with each other. The Super Bowl's coming up, so they're talking about that. So if you're a man watching today, or if you have a significant other, go ahead and go and join Men of Douglasville and start interacting with your community.
Right. I'm about to tell my husband, listen, there's a page, you need to go join.
Yeah. They don't talk about, like, they're not as active as we are, of course. We talk about everything. But they're starting to get more, more talkative over there, and they're, meeting up for beer and stuff, whatever guys do. So,
I do want to touch on something that you said, and I feel like I need to repeat it so people understand. That platform, Women of Douglasville, is so big. And you made a statement and you said, I don't think people understand what goes on in the background of you managing this page. Like, this page doesn't have nowhere near the million followers. And I feel like I'm not doing enough on my page. So I can imagine like you're saying, you're getting hundreds of requests a day. And I think that anybody that watches this and go back, be mindful of that. Be mindful that you're doing your best full time to keep this page going consistently, trying to help everyone else. And unless they're in a position that they feel like they can do it better, you just showed me the work that goes behind it.
Yeah, the people, when you got followers, you have followers. That means you're influential, and that they look to you as being influential, especially like on Instagram. And that is a responsibility. What you put out, people are watching you. So if I put out that I don't love God, he's not real, people are watching me. They need to see how faithful I am. They need to know that I love God. I try not to get too spiritual in the group, but I need people to know that God is the head of my life. You know what I mean? The point of my strength. And so when so they need to know, but also too, like I said, it's so much that goes on in the background of carrying the load of a group of 50,000 women that people do not understand. If something is happening in Douglasville and it's, people really want to talk about it, or even if it's controversial, it's like it holds a lot of weight. So I have to be always mindful of that and what I let people put out there and what I let go on. So yes, it is a lot that goes on in the background that people do not see. And the posts don't stop. I wake up to hundreds of posts. I go to sleep to hundreds of posts. I mean, about real stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot that people don't know. They always say you see how people get successful and you see people with this and that, and they look the part and all these things, but you don't know what they had to do to get there. They don't know how many community resources I had to use to be the resource. And it was a lot. Food stamps, Medicaid, anything you could think of, I had it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? So, and some people don't see that part. They see, oh, Karen, she's at a networking event and she's going live. She's at the radio station. I have the showing hits. I took a break from that for a while, but I'll be back in the spring with Hits 92.3. But they see me on the radio. They think, I don't even know what they think of, but sometimes it comes out like, girl, I thought that. No. We all in it
and like
together.
you said, it took you 4 years to get there, to get here. And so that's definitely encouraging to me, because it was never about being popular. When the Lord placed it on my heart and I finally gave my yes, I'm like, okay, because I don't know what I'm doing, so you'll line it up. And he kept putting people in place to help me, and I'm still learning. But this ain't about me. This is about him. And him getting the glory out of this platform. Like somebody had just posted, they said, you're using your platform to glorify God for the glory of the Lord. And that is so true.
Bringing people together to be resources, to be a platform where people can share resources, things, restaurants, helping our community come up. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing in life. That's what us as his children that's what we're supposed to be doing. And I'm glad that I am doing it. I thank God every day for using me like this. You know what I'm saying? And so yes, I definitely.
And Miss Karen, I don't know if you already have this, but I can see you building a team where you're not going to be so available, because he's going to have you doing some other things.
Oh,
you're going to build a strong.
By the end of this year, I'm going to have. There's no way. There's no way. And for what I really want to do with the group and take it to another level, I'm going to have a team. I got a team now, but everybody's a volunteer. My sister helps me. We have Amanda and Antoinette. When they can come in and approve posts, they do. Sometimes I might pay somebody, hey, you know what? Can you approve posts for a couple of days? Because I can't do it. Sometimes
he's going to build a strong team around you.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I know exactly who I want to use too. I know exactly who they are. So I'm definitely working on it. You already seeing what the vision is for 2025. Hopefully by the fall, I'll have at least one full-time person working along with me, and I know exactly who that's going to be, and I can't wait. So definitely, you already seeing the future. Yep, that's great. You already seeing it. So, but yeah, once again, I want to thank you so much for having me. We could do this again. We could do this again, maybe like around Christmas time when I want to do a Christmas drive. We could talk about certain things around the holidays or whatever. I'm always here.
Anytime you want to come live, anytime you want me to post anything to go on this platform. Someone just asked a question. Hold on one second. They said, if it's God's will, perhaps you can help train other community leaders.
Right. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that. But I don't know if you know it. There's like 3 other fake Women of Douglasville groups. Like,
I was going to mention it. But somebody sent it to me and I was like, no.
If you come to me and you say, hey, I want to start my own community group and I want our focus to be this, and this. Like moms who have toddlers or moms who have children with autism, I will sit down with you, help you create a name, help you follow your purpose and what God has put on your heart. You can't start Women of Douglasville, that's already done. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So I have helped people. Like some girl, she moved to Valdosta. And she wanted a Woman of Valdosta. She didn't even call it I gave her a name that was kind of similar to Women of Douglasville because I want Women of Douglasville to be like nationwide. I already have Women of Atlanta, Women of Cobb, Women of Powder Springs, Women of South Fulton, Women of Paulding. So when you see that circle logo, that's me. Somebody took my logo too. Somebody took my logo and started the real Women of Douglasville, and they took my logo. But anyways, so of course I will help you be your own unique self, and you know what I mean? Like, so I definitely want to start, consulting other community leaders to doing something that they're passionate about. I'm passionate about connecting. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
passionate about serving, impacting, and connecting, and that's what I'm doing in Women of Douglasville. And I would help if people just come to me instead of wanting to steal the name and
Right, right.
and then
Not
in the
doing it the
bio,
right way.
we are not like the original group. We are going to do it this way. I'm like, okay.
And,
You
and
know,
let
and I had to
them,
let that.
because
I used to get
why?
so mad about that too. I used to get mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't let it. I don't let it bother me no more. Because the thing about it is, when God has something on your heart for you to do,
Come
can't
on.
nobody do it like you. They can do it. They could try,
Mm-hmm.
but can't nobody do it like you. Can't nobody run no testimony show. I was like, wait a second. I went through the concert. I said, wait a second. This is a show that's based on testimony. My Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what God put on your heart to do. And as long as you
Mm-hmm.
stay consistent, girl, you don't know where you don't know which way this is gonna go. You might think, okay, God, I think that this is how it's gonna end up. I want to get here, and He could take you a whole nother avenue.
Mm.
You don't know how He gonna do it, but you know He
Nope.
gonna do it. Just to stay faithful, and I say stay consistent. If you say it's gonna be every Thursday at 8, every Thursday at 8, and if it's not gonna be every Thursday at 8, you let your people know, because you got people waiting to hear these testimonies. They're waiting to be
Mm-hmm.
encouraged. That's not clean. They're waiting to be encouraged. So just know that, once you start building your community, they're waiting to hear these testimonies and these people you have on your show. And who don't want to tell their testimony? Who don't?
You'd be surprised.
Right? Really?
Yeah. But
Okay. Well,
that's my prayer. That's my prayer, that people will come out of their comfort zone.
yeah.
I
So
even created a Gmail account for people to email me their testimony. I'll tell it for you,
right. And that's the thing.
And
You even the people who you don't think would want to tell their testimony, ask them anyways. Like, those people on your mind who you would love to hear their testimony, but you just think they ain't got the time or whatever. Just like you said, I'm busy. No, I'm at home. I'm good. I took my bonnet off, put me some lip gloss on, I got ready, and I could take all of this off as soon as we hang up.
right.
Everybody has at least 30 minutes. And how long have we been on?
We have been live, because we have been live for 50 minutes.
Wow. That went by quick. So just imagine, say, hey, can we do a 30-minute live? I just want to hear your testimony. La 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 la. Boom. I think that a lot. I think you need to start asking more people. That's how I put on you. I'll put on you. Ask 4 people every week to give their testimony. Even people who are not, even people who you think they may not feel that they're significant, but you see something in them. Ask them for their testimony.
Okay.
And it's gonna bless so many people. It's gonna bless so many people.
I truly believe that. And you're, like I said, and so for those who that are coming in, I'm seeing that I don't know. My name is Devan Walker. I'm a local resident here in Douglasville, and we've been going live every Thursday since August 29th. Every Thursday, 8 o'clock. You can inbox me at Testimony Time with Devan here on Instagram or Facebook. I have an email account. I'm going to post it in the comments. It's ttwd2024@gmail.com. If you don't feel comfortable coming on camera, you can email me your testimony once a month starting, well, this is a little announcement, I guess. So every first Thursday of the month, I just tried this month. We're going to have a free-for-all. So what I've done is I posted questions that people have regarding their journey with God. So last week we did it, and the Lord placed it on my heart. You need to do that once a month. If there's no scheduled person, so now I'm scheduling my first Thursdays every month that we're going to have an open forum, so that those who are watching, when I tell you, last Thursday was amazing.
Wow.
Some really good questions came in through my inbox, and we talked about it. You had people that were new to the faith, seasoned in the faith, that was given so much wisdom. And I was like, I love that. And then the Lord was like, you need to do that once a month.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Like
So
I said,
now I'm looking for people. Yep, now I'm looking for people for the month of March, April, May, like whenever you're ready. I don't never want to rush anybody. You give your testimony.
Yeah.
You share, because your story is not my story. Your story is very important to you, and it's important. And I remember since you're just new to this page, Miss Karen, I remember when I guess like for the first several months, Instagram would not let me go live past an hour. And I low key had to tell the person, hold on, it's about to cut off, and we had to come back on.
Oh
And
wow.
then right
They changed
before
that.
the new year, I made a decision to go to Facebook, but I cannot to this day get that page to go live where I can see you, I can comment, and I gave
I
up.
can't, when I go live on Facebook, I can't see comments. I can't interact with them.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how other people do. And I said, and I was very discouraged. And I did my first Facebook Live of the year on there. I think I might have been on there 20 minutes. And I was very discouraged. And I remember going to bed and I lay there and the tears flowed. And I said, Lord, I'm just trying to do your will. I want people to give it. Do you know, Miss Karen, the next week I jumped back on Instagram and it was over an hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. The person's giving their testimony and I'm jumping on the inside like oh my
wow.
God. And ever since then, they have been, I think my sister is either my sister-in-law. We went an hour and 48 minutes because the Holy Spirit was all through that conversation.
Oh, that's definitely what that was. If you was on live that long. Wow.
And I'm just like, wow. And so, yes. So anybody that wants to give their testimony, they can inbox me. Anything you need from me, I got you.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much for having me, and you enjoy the rest of your week. And enjoy
all
your
right,
weekend.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye,
and I will see y'all next
everybody.
Thursday. Good night.